Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And I'm
Roast.
Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our Survivor 49 Episode 9 reaction and review. There's no reason to delay anything here. Rizzo. I hated on you earlier this season. I called your shtick annoying. I was not into it, but you might be the RIZGOD Riz God baby after watching
Wow.
this
No,
episode.
it's true. He's really great. And I'm sort of having like flashbacks to this past Big Brother where it was like, is Vince really that good or is everyone else really that bad? And that is what it's starting to feel like here. Rizzo has gone through again, holding onto an idol, basically rinse and repeat what he did last week and the week before, moving the target onto somebody else who is not a threat at all. Alex is the threat. Stop it. He is playing such an incredible game. But on the other side, I'm kind of like Sage and Jawan, everybody else like that had a handle on this game. They have lost the script on this. The minute that Jawan was like, who's a bigger threat? Alex, who's messy, or Rizzo, who has the idol? It's Rizzo. It's Rizzo who has the idol. Whoever has the idol is the bigger threat.
Okay, I'm gonna say we're at a Survivor fusion restaurant here where they're serving a little bit of Rizzo is playing phenomenally because I do think,
He is.
as of right now, like there's a lot of season left to go. If Rizzo continues at the pace he's on right now through these past few weeks, he would be the best Survivor player since D, who dominated a lot of the end game of her season.
She was great.
He is really unbelievably impressive with his social game, his strategy, but there is a lot to what you're saying here where you have to sort of facepalm yourself and just be like, what are you guys doing? Like, we could try to say that there was production nonsense in the last episode,
There
but
was.
they still had a chance to get rid of Rizzo.
Yeah, they did in the last episode. They did in this episode. The fact that he's still here, it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. We got some people that are playing quite badly at this point, that they're looking at MC's the bigger threat than Rizzo. Alex is the bigger threat than Rizzo. None of these things are true. They're buying everything that Rizzo is selling. His social game, I'm just eating it up. It's so good.
It is so good. And this was such a good episode. These past few episodes, the post merge of 49 is actually shaping up to be really strong. Before we get into anything more in this episode, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are going to be here with all things Survivor 49 all season long. And this is, of course, leading up to Survivor 50, which got a big premiere date announcement. And it's going to be 3 hours in one night.
Oh my God, girl, Survivor, I love you, but 3 hours? That is a huge ask. I
Yes.
know it's a big ask, but like, oh my God, it's so long. But we will be here for it, regardless if it's 2 hours, 3 hours, 10 hours. We're very excited about the new season. So hit that subscribe button and stick with us.
Thank you guys so much for your support. Let's start here by burying the other players not named Rizzo, Savannah, or Sophie with an I, because the nonsense starts early in this episode. Everybody gets back from the MC Tribal Council where she shockingly voted off, and immediately a lot of it seems to be surprised that it's not Sophie who left. Like, Christina's talking about wanting out Sophie, and I'm just sitting here being like, Rizzo was right there. He's still right here. Everyone knows he has an idol. Why are you worried about IE Sophie?
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I don't know why they weren't all more surprised that Rizzo was back and now still here again. This guy is unstoppable. But it was really surprising for them that Sophie with the IE was still here, and she was also surprised by their reaction, and she harped on that the whole episode.
Sophie IE, I am mad at you. Sophie I'm not mad at you. You're fine. But IE Sophie, what what is wrong? Okay, I understand you may be being a little bit annoyed that your name was floated out there as a target.
Yes.
Like, all of that is justifiable, but based on the edit that we're seeing, and I at least think no matter what you want to say about the edit, it's very clear that Savannah and Rizzo are a 1-2 punch. Like, it's clear to us that Sophie with an I is with them as well. So
Absolutely.
if that is the case, i.e. Sophie. You're talking about, oh, maybe I'll buddy up with these people. So basically you're like, yeah, sure, sign me up to maybe be number 4 in an alliance of 4, even if you're annoyed. In what world does that ever make sense?
Yeah, I think the thing is that Sophie with an I, or Blue Sophie, which I guess we'll kind of go back to that because like Jawan even called Sophie with an IE Soph. Listen, it's all confusing. Jeff, you messed it up. It's Yellow
Yes.
Sophie, it's Blue Sophie. That it just feels like even if Yellow Sophie doesn't know that Blue Sophie is part of this, trio, she does know that it's a duo. And if it's a duo, she is never going to be number 1 or number 2. She's always going to be number 3, but really she's number 4 if she's going to be part of that.
Yeah, and she also is just not seeing the forest through the trees when it comes to this notion of, all right, Rizzo was clearly in the minority on this last vote. He found a way to magically stay around there. Before that, Nate, somebody who is a close ally of his, got taken out. He immediately catapults to the top of, I don't know what you want to call it, the underdog power ranking, that if he continues to kind of work his way further and further, it is an incredible case at the end of the game that my alliance was counted out. We still found a way to make it through.
He should absolutely win this game. Like if it was the vote is right now, like he deserves to win this game. He's got a great alliance. He's been sitting on an idol that so many times I was just like, oh my God, he needs to play it. He's going to go home. If he doesn't play, he's going to go home 3 times now. And he has not gone home. He has sat there with that idol in his pocket with a smile on his face. And he has socially worked his way out of trouble every single time.
Yeah. First of all, Rizzo, you are a better Survivor player than me. And that's not being self-deprecating. It's just me admitting I would have used the idol in the last episode. I would have used the idol again in this episode.
Yes.
I think what makes Rizzo so impressive right now, let's go into a time machine here. We're going to go back to this past episode.
Okay, well, beep, bop, 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 boop. Okay, we are in the past.
All right, welcome to the start of episode 8. And we saw Rizzo immediately after Jawan and Sage flipped on them, go to work with them right away. And I think one of the things I want to try to do here is that, yes, it's abundantly clear that everyone outside of this little Rizzo alliance is making bad decisions. I want to try to understand why. And I think one key component of it, Rizzo and Jawan clearly have some sort of bromance that is going on out there. And Rizzo has really made sure Jawan still feels comfortable even after what happened. And I don't think if he had those conversations with him right away, Jawan would be comfortable doing this. I mean, Jawan has been snowed over to a point, as you said earlier, where he thinks because of this bromance that Alex is actually a bigger target.
He thought that MC was a bigger target. That was like, why ever? Why? It's Nate. Like all of these decisions have been so strange, but it just goes to show what Rizzo is able to do socially and with his charisma to actually be able to convince people that like Nate is the vote, or we've got, MC is the vote tonight. Alex. Okay, so he's able to sort of see that Alex is riding the middle. And it's like, okay, people who ride the middle, it can get you somewhere. We just saw that with Kyle last season where he was part of a bigger alliance, but he was riding the middle with other people and he ended up winning the game. That's not normally the way that you win a game, riding the middle. At some point, you either end up getting taken to the end and you're put in like, second or third or something like that, or you're just thrown off in the middle somewhere, like all the other people that have left that have all been kind of just in the middle, right?
Yeah.
This is not somebody who's a threat. So the fact that Rizzo was actually able to convince people that Alex was actually a threat, someone who is not really part of any alliance. He is not really with anyone. He hasn't made any moves. He doesn't have any powers, that this person is a threat to the point that Jawan's like, yeah, man, he's really messy. That could be a bigger threat than somebody with the idol. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
It's so crazy. And he has a way of making people really, really like him. But I think it goes even beyond.
I really like him.
I like him now too. Like I said, I wasn't into it early on, but it's just, I am always going to like people who are playing this hard at the game. And he's playing really, really hard. And what I'm about to say is going to be ridiculous, but that's fine. normalize lying just for the sake of lying in Survivor. I'm not advocating for lying in real life, but Rizzo, he was just out here saying things about Alex. He didn't care if they were true. If he
I
was,
loved it.
it's just like, this is the game. I think there has become this vulnerability in modern day Survivor because people are very, very afraid to lie to an extreme because they're worried
Yes.
they're going to get attacked on social media. They're going to be perceived as, oh, you're a bad person. But this is the game. And if you're willing to lie in a way that's more overt than anyone else, you have a built-in advantage provided you're a good liar. Like, this is why Tony has won Survivor twice, because he just goes out there and lies about everything known to mankind. And because people aren't willing to do that, they don't want to see the game through his lens. They want to actually believe in this notion of truth.
Yeah, there's a lot of Survivor players, Big Brother players that are like, oh, I'm going to play with integrity and
Yeah.
I don't have to lie. I'm going to be honest. And that's fine. You can play those games. But on the other side, it does make for more exciting moves for me, anyways, watching it to see where Rizzo's like, a little bit of truth. I'm just going to throw in this lie here. I don't even know if it's true or not, but why not? You know, it could work. People really trust me. So I'll be able to make this work. It's really exciting in the new age of reality TV when people are very afraid to
Yes.
tell lies or look bad in any kind of way because once they get off the show, they have to deal with social media. Should they be on social media? Most of them are, or thinking that they're going to have Instagram career and they're going to go on and do all that. They want followers and they want people to
Yeah.
ride with them, so they don't want to look bad. But I mean, when you really kind of look at all the like biggest winners of either Survivor or like Big Brother, like Dr. Will or Dan or whatever, like they've all played that game where it's like, yeah, there's a little truth and there's a little lie in there. It's at being adaptable to know when it's time.
Yeah, and
And
that's
Rizzo has this.
he pulled it off. I mean, you talked about going after Alex, and I think he clocked this really, really well. That not only is Alex playing the middle, but he's someone who everyone else can afford to lose. I think,
Yes.
for example, if he tried to do this with Sage, I don't know if he would have gotten as many people to flip.
No.
Because, she has Jawan. There's other
Yeah.
people she's built some sort of friendship with. And
Yes.
he's also been able to sort of make these people believe that the idol's not that big of a deal. It's not something that you really have to think about, even though, because Rizzo survived this vote with the idol, moving forward, there's 8 players left. You can't do all these weird sort of vote split scenarios anymore because he made it. You could have done a 3-3-3 this week and then gotten him out on the revote. You can't do that now.
No, and that was what was so brilliant about him getting through with this. He even said, he was like, if I can get through with this and get
Yeah.
to the 8 where I'm holding on to this idol, we end up in more of a power position. Like, I just have to get through this one more with this idol, and then we can really start making the moves we want to make.
Okay,
He's thinking ahead.
I'm gonna try to put on a tinfoil hat here
Okay,
because now that we're
tinfoil hat
13
on.
minutes in, I'm gonna try to defend these other players. I'm not saying it's gonna be a good defense, but
I also have my hard hat on.
yeah, I know. Be prepared for the comments on this one. Okay. There's 2 things I believe we have to keep in mind here is that, yes, everyone knows that Rizzo has an immunity idol and they should
Yes.
just be getting rid of him by virtue of that alone.
And he's part of a duo with Savannah,
Yeah.
who is winning back-to-back immunities.
I don't think they all realize how dangerous this duo or trio, if you want to throw Blue Sophie in
Yeah.
there, is because not everybody knows about Savannah's extra vote. They don't
Right.
know about the knowledge is power advantage and what could potentially be going on there.
Mhm.
The other thing I did think about while I was watching this is just that we've heard multiple players now talk about how Savannah's rubbing people the wrong way. They don't necessarily like her. Like, these terms have been thrown out. And I'm starting to wonder, yeah, people might be worried about Rizzo, but they just keep pushing it off to, oh, we'll get rid of him next time, because they just feel like nobody is going to vote for Savannah at the end, because if they just don't think that she's particularly likable, do they just not see her as a threat?
Yeah, it's so I mean, I'm not out there with her
Hmm.
and we're only seeing what the edit is, but the edit doesn't really paint her as someone who's like until the past couple episodes where she's winning these immunities, she has been saying, "I'm not a big threat. I'm not
Yeah.
making any moves. I'm not behind a lot of these votes and nothing is really happening right now, but everybody thinks I'm running this game." And then you've got, I think it was Sage. I was like, "Oh, she just gives mean girl vibes." I'm just like, "Does she?" Like, yeah, she's playing the game, and yeah, she we had that whole thing with MC where she's diving for the keys,
Yeah.
but that's not mean girl vibes. She hasn't done anything in this game to make me think that she's a mean girl in any kind of way.
The biggest thing I've gotten from her, and honestly, I appreciate it, is just that she is incredibly competitive to the
Yep,
point where she's
she
looking
is.
for reasons to be upset about everybody. Hence everything with Jawan earlier this
I
season.
would have been mad about
I
it too.
know.
You're drinking out of my bottle. You're putting dirt and worms in my bag. Like, guy, take the minute to make sure it's your own stuff. I would have been mad too.
And she's just really good in challenges, and that competitiveness, maybe that comes across as arrogance. I don't see it that way. I think
Nope.
her whole strategy of just sitting up there doing this whole challenge with the foot on the deal and saying, I could be up here forever, like, why not try to psych people out? And
It works.
by the way, I really wanted to come on here and rail against production and do this whole, oh, production's helping out Rizzo and Savannah all over. But I honestly feel like even if there was one immunity, that Savannah was going to beat all the guys for this too. It just seemed like she really was actually being truthful when she said that.
No, I agree. I didn't feel that there was, production mucking about in this. The last one, yes, but not in this one. I think she just won it fair and square. Everything was fine.
Yeah, she just is really good at a very particular kind of challenge. And maybe this is Savannah's best case if she can move forward is that, all right, maybe she can win more challenges if they
Yep.
do things that are very endurance based because these don't benefit, these guys with all these muscles, people that are really heavy. I mean, Savannah's also pretty short. So I think she's
Hmm.
somebody who she's going to fare better, I think, in these so long as you have that self control.
Absolutely.
So the one other thing though I will give Savannah some credit for is really recognizing, all right, there's all this paranoia going on at this beach at this point. People are saying my name, people are
Hmm.
saying Rizzo's name. It's going to be easy for Blue Sophie to suddenly be like, you know what, I want to abandon ship. And then she comes in with the whole I am a reporter bit just to make sure that she kind of just stays on side.
And I think that Savannah also just really does like Blue Sophie. I
Yes.
think they just really have a really genuine friendship there. And it's also very impressive to me that Blue Sophie has kept her power a secret still. They're sitting in a trio. Rizzo's like, "I've got this." She's got the extra vote. And Blue Sophie's like, "Do, do, 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 do. I'm not talking about anything that I have." And I think it's really impressive to keep that until you really need it, if you need it at all. That, like, you can always use these advantages to build trust. And she definitely could have done that in this position to be like, "Hey, you guys have told me this, so you clearly trust me and you're part of this with me. I have this." And that would have been a way to build it even further, but it feels like she doesn't need to build that trust any further. She has that trust. The only thing that I would say is if it actually comes down to the three of them need to figure out what their powers are to use them strategically
Yeah.
to keep all three of them safe, she's got to come clean about that so that together they can get themselves to the end of the game because three powers are better than two.
100%. All future Survivor players watching this video, you best have listened to what Jess just said. Don't go and tell everybody about your powers until you need to,
Yeah.
until it's actually beneficial. Like, I believe with my full chest that if all these other people knew that there were three powers between these three players, we would have had a very different outcome. But because they're all in the dark to some extent about all of it.
Yeah.
There's still this perceived value. And all right, we're not that worried about Savannah. We're not that worried about Blue Sophie. Sure, Rizzo is a problem, but Alex is the big
Oh my
problem. We
God.
we have to go ahead and get rid of him. And even just going
Middling Alex. Oh my goodness. So much more powerful than Rizzo in an Idol. Has been able to talk his way out of 2 other eliminations. You guys, oh my goodness. You all have on love goggles. You need to take them down. It's too late now.
I
You
know.
guys just cacked it. It's over.
I'm back to complaining about these people now. Jawan, Sage, what do you guys do? You have already flipped on them once. Do you
Shocking.
think that, oh, we're all good now, everything is fine? And beyond all that, if you're really thinking, oh, this is the original Uli tribe, well, these two have adopted Blue Sophie, so it's really the
Yes.
original Uli plus Blue Sophie. You are like fourth or fifth place in that. Once again, the numbers, they're not in your favor. You must think that something else is going on out there beyond what we're seeing. It's either that or they have just messed with your head and it's just all scrambled eggs at this point.
Man, Jawan and Sage had this game. They really did. 3 episodes ago, if they had just taken their shot at Rizzo, this would have been a completely different game. They would have been going to the end, and maybe they still will find a way, but it just feels less and less. 3 times in a row, this is ridiculous. Like, they shouldn't be winning at this point.
And what really bums me out about all this is that I like Jawan a lot. And I mean, even
Yes.
the edit in this episode, it was so endearing hearing him talk about helping out his family and, what he was saying to himself in the immunity challenge. I was just sitting here being like, oh, Jawan, you're so wholesome. And because of these moves, I'm coming out of this episode instead just wanting to like hit my head against the wall and be like, Jawan, why?
Listen, I still like Jawan so much, but he's not winning the show. It doesn't feel like it anymore. Like, this has been the way that Rizzo's been able to just manipulate everybody there. It's if people don't take the blinders off, it's just going to continue to go on this way. And
Yep.
I'm here for it. It's been really exciting to see Rizzo playing everybody the way that he is 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
To be able to still be holding onto that idol, it's incredible.
Yeah, because moving forward, we could be in a situation now where Yellow Sophie just sticks with Blue Sophie and the other two, and that could be a 4-person group. Then it's 4-4. Nobody's going to want to go to a tie. They might just stay with Rizzo again, even then.
And here's the thing about Yellow Sophie is she's also been able to be winning challenges. So if she sticks with them and they're willing to bring her in, even if she's on the bottom, she might be able to just fend for herself all the way through it.
Beyond the strategy element, there's a couple other things I did really enjoy about this episode. I will say this, Jeff, this may be your funniest episode so far this season. I don't know if I should applaud you for this because I don't know if all of it is intentional, but this moment at the immunity challenge where my beloved Steven has to become Spaceman Spiff here for a moment and talk all about all these space facts. And at a certain point, because Jeff needs to further along the challenge, he says, thank you so much, Steven, but I'll take it from here. He basically just said, shut up, Steven. I don't want to hear from you anymore. It was so unintentionally passive aggressive. And it just felt like over the course of this episode, Steven became the guy who you invite to a party and you ask him at the start of the night, hey, you do this magic trick. It's a great parlor trick. Can you run around and do it to people? But by the end of the night, he's done it to every single person in the room. You want to throw his magic equipment up against the wall and just say, okay, we're over it.
Absolutely. He is the person that closes out the party where you're like, man, everybody left an hour ago. Like, why am I still watching this magic trick? Go home.
And once again, a bummer because I really like Steven.
I like Steven too.
I just feel like based on what
I was glad he was safe.
I was very glad he was safe, and I'm really going to enjoy this next episode of him because it's probably going to be his last. Because I'm just sitting back and I'm just thinking now, if I am this Rizzo group, and I do actually have the numbers right now, it feels like Steven, Christina, they're kind of sitting ducks, and unless everybody just completely blows out of the water that Christina has an idol, and Steven's kind of already done this. He went and told Sage about it.
Yep.
He is on paper the much bigger threat of the two of them.
He absolutely is. But at the same time, you do need to break up Sage and Jawan. You have to. They're a very obvious duo at this point. And if you're looking at Savannah and Rizzo being like, they're a duo, they need to get broken up. Well, so does Sage and Jawan. They have to be broken up.
we're just in a really interesting spot moving forward this season because on paper, this Rizzo group, they're still outside of, I guess, that quote unquote numbers, but they've just done so much work now that the
Yep.
numbers are all up in the air. And the people who were on the dominant side, Christina, Steven, they've all been so under edited compared to Rizzo and Savannah. It feels like a lot of the story right now is about how Rizzo and Savannah and Blue Sophie are beating
Hmm.
the odds and rising to the mountaintop. I mean, Survivor, you guys have tricked us with the editing before. I do hope there's more adversity at the very least.
I love an underdog story. I'm here for the three of them that really have been able to turn it around.
Yeah,
So, you know what? I'm rooting for them.
really, really fun season at this point. Recovered nicely from that start, but that is where we are with Survivor 49, episode 9. Okay, let us know in the comments at this point. How impressed are you by Rizzo's game, or is that just completely overshadowed by how angry you are at everybody else? Let us know in the comments and be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are inching
Hmm.
closer to 100,000 here at the channel. It is surreal. We really
Crazy.
appreciate your support, and we'll see you here next time.